Hello everyone, welcome to my channel Cloud and Data with Kaushik. So in this session, we just going to see how to install Flask with our virtual environment, right? So this is a hands-on demo, it's not a theory. So step by step, I'm going to learn these things. If in the first time, as a first time user, how I'm going to run the Flask application and how it is working in the virtual environment. The first Flask application, like welcome to my Flask application. Okay, so these things how we can configure as part our coding. But before going to that, I always recommended that Flask official documentation that always help you to understand the concept in more detail. So first try to see that mm, the Flask official documentation part, Flask official documentation is just right in the search bar. So you can see, welcome to the Flask. This is the official project link, okay, the documentation. So welcome to the Flask. You can go over there and you can see this is the web page or web application, the official website. Everything you are going to see over there, right? Just like install Flask, how we are going to install, all the things are there, but I am going to install and configure that application in my side. So without any delay, let's get started. And this is your official documentation part that you can use for your more learning purpose. Okay. So you can see this is one folder. Okay. In this folder, first I have to configure that virtual environment. So to install Flask with a virtual environment, we have to follow some steps. So every steps I'm going to add over there. So create a virtual environment. I'm also write this thing. So create a virtual environment. I do one thing. I just take one notepad and here I'm going to do these things. So all the steps I'm going to write over here so you can understand. Okay. First, we have to create a virtual environment. So create a virtual environment. Okay, open your terminal or command prompt and navigate to the directory. So I am in the directory and you want to create your projects. And if you are the Windows user, for Windows user, the command is for Windows user, the command for creating virtual environment is that Python -m venv and your virtual environment name. Okay, first this comment I'm going to add over there. Okay, and just copy Python -m and venv for creating your virtual environment. So just go and write cmd in that command prompt. Okay, so in this path the command prompt will be appear. Okay, your command prompt will be appear. So just write this line, this comment. Okay, Python -m venv and virtual environment name, and just press enter. Okay, you can see one folder is creating over there. Na? In that venv, one folder is going to create. Na? venv folder. So in this folder, the virtual environment directory will be created. And we have to wait sometimes. So after that, the command prompt will be written. Okay, until and unless your command prompt will be coming. So everything will not be executed inside that venv folder. So creating the virtual environment, the specialty is that if you work in a multiple project, right? Multiple different kind of project, so you can easily switch one environment to other environment. So you can create your project in that virtual environment. So your environment only using the underlying architecture that they will use the Python, okay? And you can see one folder is created, VNV folder. And inside the VNV folder, some files and some script folder, lib include these three folder as created, right? And next question is that how we are going to activate the virtual environment. Okay, for Linux, for those are using the Linux command. So Linux user, okay, you can write Python, same command, Python 3 minus m venv. This is your actual command and this is the name of the virtual environment. If I'm writing that Python 3 minus m venv and Kaushik venv, so your virtual environment will be created in this folder. Okay. So just write venv I am using because we all can understand and the name will be relevant for the use cases. Okay. So you can see Python minus m venv. And next is that how we can activate the virtual. You have created the virtual environment. First task is done. Okay. I have created the virtual environment. Any folder you are going to choose and just see that your Python is installed or not. Once your Python is installed, then you can write this command Python minus m venv and venv. Now, second command is that how we can activate the virtual environment. How to activate? You have created. For activating the virtual environment, you just write venv script. So the script folder you can see, script folder is there. Script folder, venv script and activate. venv script and activate. So you have inside that folder and you just enter inside the folder. You can see include lib. Sorry for that. So you can see include lib and script. And here you have to activate this one, venv script and activate. Just copy this command or you can write as per your choice, no issues for that. And go to the command prompt and you just write venv script activate, okay? And just you can wait. The virtual environment is activated. How you can understood? The first bracket you can see venv is deleted. That means my virtual environment, the command, everything will be goes inside the virtual environment. So your command prompt or terminal prompt should change. It's change. It's change to indicate that you are now working inside the virtual environment. So two steps I have covered. I have created my virtual environment. Once I have created my virtual environment, we are now inside our virtual environment. You can see this is the inside the venv script, my virtual environment is there. And how I understood that activate command I have to over there. So just go inside the script and you can see activate. Okay, activate.bat, activate the PowerShell command. So you have to activate this thing. So your virtual environment is activated. So once you completed the first step, your Python Python minus m venv, your virtual environment is created. Once you've created your virtual environment, you have to activate that. For activating, otherwise without activating you cannot install anything over there. So once you activate the virtual environment, so your command prompt is changed. You can see the command prompt is changed to the venv. Whatever name you have provided your virtual environment, in this way your venv will be created, and now you can see in this path that will be communicated virtual environment, right? Now third step that I am going to install Flask over there. Okay. So third step that install Flask. How you have to install Flask? Two ways you can install Flask. So you can directly return pip install Flask. Now in your mind you can say the what is pip. Okay. So why I'm writing pip? So pip is a, you can say it's a dependency module. Okay. So you can say pip is the package installer. I'm right. What is pip? So you can understood what is PIP. Pip. So I can say pip is the package installer for Python. Okay. Similarly, you are working in the front-end application, React, Angular, any application, Node.js is the package installer, node modules. Same thing in the Python environment, pip is the package installer for Python. It is a command line tool. Okay, command line tool. Everything you have to understand. Command line tool means you are writing the command inside the CMD panel, right? So command line tool. For what purpose? That simplifies the process of installing, managing and distributing Python packages. Python package are collection of code. So you can see that Python, what is Python package? Python package, which are, I also write, which are collections of code, scripts, and other resources that can be easily shared and reused, reused by developers. Okay, so this is the reason you have to use any in the Flask application, in that any Python, you are going to install Flask, you are going to install NumPy, you are going to install that any Seaborn library, any kind of dependencies. Pip is the package installer, package manager. Okay, that is the reason I'm using the PIP. PIP is a package manager. And now two ways we are going to install Flask. So what is the two ways? First, you can say that I just using that pip install Flask. I'm going to use this thing, pip install Flask, and your Flask application will be created. Okay, pip install Flask. Another way is that we can create the requirement.txt. Requirements.txt. Now you can ask me, what is requirement.txt file? Why it is required? So in the real page application, you have to install multiple dependencies, not only Flask. In a Flask application, you are going to install NumPy libraries, you are going to install any other dependencies. All the dependencies we are jot down in one place. Okay. So right, understood, dependencies one. So dependencies two. Okay. Dependencies two. Right, is dependency two. Okay. So dependency means your Flask. One dependency is Flask. Another dependency two is your NumPy. Okay. And dependency three. Okay. Here I'm right. Dependency three. Pandas. Dependency three is your pandas. Okay. Pandas. Now you tell me, if I'm going to write this thing, pip install Flask. Now I'm right. Pip install NumPy. Now I write pip install Panda. So every time you are going to write this thing, pip install, pip install, pip install. So instead of doing all the things, we have this file requirement.txt. So you can create requirement.txt over there. So just you can do one thing, you can just write code and it will open your Visual Studio Code. So in your application, I hope that VS Code will be installed. So if you have the VS Code, so you just write code space dot, okay? And these folders, these dependencies, and this virtual environment that will open inside the Visual Studio Code. You can see I Visual Studio Code will be open, okay? So the code dot will only work if you have that Visual Studio Code in your system. Otherwise, it will not work, okay? So you can see VS Code inside that virtual environment, okay? And here I am going to write, you can create this way, requirement.txt. What I'm going to write? Requirement.txt. Requirement.txt. Just a minute, it will take some time for processing. And yeah, just a second, it will be opening. And you can see that and here I'm going to write Flask, okay? And now the code will be, the script will be some changing, the changes will come. So pip install -r requirements.txt, you can write. So whatever is there inside the requirement.txt, that will be installed. So just go over there na, and just trying to add pip install -r requirement.txt. And you have to wait. You can see that Flask application, you can see 3 dots are coming na? So that means the package is not installing. Could not open. Okay, requirement, some change requirement REQUIRE. Okay, I hope that some spelling mistake. One minute. Once you can just, I'm going to add this line over here, requirement.txt. Yes. So how to install Flask? How to install Flask? Either you can use pip install Flask, either you can use this thing. Pip install -r requirement.txt. So -r, what is -r? Now my question is that what is -r? So -r, this flag, this is flag specifies that you want to install packages, you want to install the packages which are listed in the requirements.txt. Okay, so that is the reason I'm using the -r, and just go and copy this line. Don't worry, everything that whatever the comment I'm going to use, everything I'm add in the description box. So from there you can get all the things. Okay, pip install -r requirement.txt. And now I'm just going to hit, and you can see it will take some time and then it will install it. And you can see that using collecting Flask, using catch Flask for collecting, and successfully installed collection packages. And you can see the Flask is there. So instead of writing pip install Flask, whatever is required, you just go and creating the list over there. So one by one, it will be installing. No issues that you are going to install multiple number of dependencies in your project. So you can use. Now my third task is also done. I am going to install. And what is the code that I'm going to write over there? How we are up and running the application. So fifth point is that how we can write that code, right? So you have to create a new file like app.py, like app.py. So you have to create one file app.py. Just go over there and create app.py. Not inside that VNB. Please do not add all the things inside the VNB, but it should be in the same directory of the VNB. App.root directory, okay? App.py. So in the app.py means I got my Python file. Any Python code I am going to write over there. So first dependencies, I am install Flask, okay? So from Flask, you have to import Flask. So Flask class you have to import. So from Flask, you can say automatically Flask is coming, na? And you can go over there and you can also see that package Flask is not installed in the selected environment. So you can write from Flask and just you write import your Flask. Import your Flask, okay? So here it is written that Flask, the object implements a WSGI application and acts as the central object. So it is a central object from where we can derive many objects, many classes. Okay, it is a path, the name of the module or package of the application. Please go and read this. This class is very important. Without this class, first thing you have to import this one inside the app.py. And you have to pass the name of the module or package of the application. Once it is created, it will act as the central registry of the view function. So with this view function, it's the central object, we can say. And we can going to create our Flask application. First, we have to import this thing. Once we have imported, second task, we have to initialize the app. How we have to initialize Flask? And then you have to write name. Okay. So this is a import name, the name of the application package, the Flask object implement WSGI application. Okay. So you have create your Flask. So first we have to import. First we have to import Flask. Second, we have to initialize the Flask class. We have to initialize instance, create the instance. We have to create the instance of Flask class. Okay. So app. Once your app is done, then I'm going to create one definition. Definition means function. So how to create the function in the Flask, inside the Python file. So you can using def function. So now I am just write hello quotient. Okay. Any function name you are going to add and simply write return welcome to the Flask world. The string I am going to print over there. Okay, this is string. So this is the definition. Means any function name you are using. So third stage, so step if you are going to see na. So you have to input the Flask. Second, you have to create it. You have to instance. You have to create the instance. And next, I have created one class. So from the class I have created, but how my Flask application will understand, right? So you have to write app.route and slash. Route means routing. Means you have that home page, about us page, index page. So there are different kind of pages in that real applications. So my function I am right, but I am not mapping my function with my routing. Once the Flask application will be up and running in the web server, then which page I am going to show, which page I am going to view to the viewers, right? So in the index page, slash means there is no comment arguments I'm going to pass. Only by default one slash will come and I'm going to create one function, hello Kosik. And in the return, I'm just going to print welcome to the Flask wall. Okay, and then I have to run. How I'm going to run? App.run. Simple. App.run. So this is the 4 or 5 stage you have to create. Say third stage. Third stage is that creating one UDF user defined function and map the route. Map it to the route of index route in the index route. Okay, your routing is done, app route, anything. So once the page will be loading, na, it will understood this that I have this function installed, means I have this function that I have to call over there from this routing. So the definition is hello underscore Kaushik and your page will be run app.run. And now this is the main function. That means whenever your page will be running that app.py, so first it will not going to indicate app.route. So first it will bootstrapping this application right in this way. If minus sorry underscore name is equal to underscore main. So this is the main page, okay? And your app will be running. App will be running. Okay. So first we are going to run the application. It will come this block, the main function. Inside the main function, I just call app.run. Whenever I call app.run, this command app.run will be automatically go to the Flask side and it expects some routing in which page I am going to showcase to my viewers, showcase to my users. So this page, this route will come to the hello Kaushik, and this is the user defined function that I'm going to create, and here I'm return some string. String means that any line. I'm not going to use any HTML, any nothing I'm going to use. Only return the welcome to the Flask call. And you have to save the file. Now your app.py is done. Now how I am going to run the application? How I am going to run the application? So just go over there and write run the Flask application. How I'm going to write the Flask application? There is one simple command Python app.py. App.py in my case, actually if you have different file name, right? This is the file name. App.py is file name. Okay. If my file is Python Kaushik.py, then I am write Python Kaushik.py. App.py, this is my file name. That file I am going to create app.py. That is the reason I am using Python app.py. Just copy Python app.py, or you can just write over there. And inside the virtual environment, you can see the Venv. Inside, I activate the virtual environment. And just I'm going to write this one Python app.py. Every code I'm going to execute inside my virtual environment. Then I'm write Python app.py and just hit enter. And you can see couple of seconds, it will execute on local server. That means my development server is executing by default. I'm not going to run, I'm not going to configure that server. You can see this is a development server. Do not use in the production deployment. So production deployment, that is different kind of strategies I'm going to use in the, and I in the future demo I'm going to show how you have to use that. Okay. And now you can see what URL is coming by default. Please remember, by default the port is 5000 for up and running the application. So you have this application running on, just copy, or localhost, you can write localhost, anywhere you can write, go over there na, and you can just take one step. You just go and take another tab. Just a second. I hope so. Yeah. 1 minute. Yes. 1 minute. Now localhost. Okay, 1 minute. Actually, some problem is there. Yeah. Localhost 5,000. Just go and try to hit, and it will up and running the Flask. I hope that will take some few minutes, and it will run the Flask application. Localhost 5,000, and by default port is 5,000, and it will be up and running. Just a second, and you can see 127 0.0.1 and 5,000. It will take some time. Now you can see that if I run localhost 5,000 and welcome to the Flask one. Whatever that string that I'm going to provide over, na, so it will be coming automatically. You can see, and you can see some logs are coming, like get 127 0.0.1 and all the get requests. Okay, so by default the port is 5,000, and from this port that Flask application is running. So in this way, we just going to create the Flask application and going to create my environment. Inside that environment, I'm installing and configuring the Flask, and I'm going to write. So run the application. Okay. And the next session, I'm going to create another kind of concept. So I hope you can enjoy and you can learn the new things from the sessions. Okay, and this is that all about the Flask application, how I'm going to create the virtual environment, and from where I'm going to create that app. Okay, and if also press Ctrl plus C to quit. You want to quit, just press Ctrl plus C. Okay, now after quitting, if I'm going to try to run the application, it will not work. You can see I exit from that application about the server. So localhost refused to connect. It unable to connect the localhost because I am exit from that server. Same way, if I want to exit from that virtual environment, what is the code? You just write deactivate. And now you also exit from that virtual environment. You can see venv, the first line, first in the first bracket venv, that will not come inside that. Na? So you are not inside that venv. And now if I'm just going to write for how we can understood, I am just exit from that virtual environment. You just write Python. Okay, Python run app.py. Your app.py will not work. Python run app.py. Okay, Python run or Python app.py. Is it working? It will be work. Python is not recognized, it's not understood, because everything I'm going to install, I have installed inside that virtual environment. I have not installed outside the virtual environment. So virtual environment is kind of wrapper. You can say it's kind of container. Inside the container, I am going to execute all the commands. I'm going to install Flask, everything. So that is the reason once you have activated the virtual environment, and then only your Python app.py will work. I hope I can provide, you can understood whatever I'm going to communicate with you. So that is that you can exit to, I just want to write exit from the server, just press Control plus C, and to exit from the venv, you can write deactivate. Once you have write deactivate, you have probably exit from the virtual environment. And I also proved that it will not work because Python is not recognized as an internal or external command. Okay. Thank you everyone for joining the session. If you have any queries, any doubt, please let me know in the chat, in that comment section. So I definitely go and answer your questions. And please don't forget to subscribe my channel. Please like, share, and subscribe my channel. And in this way, we can learn and grow together. And if you have any questions, so please let me know. And thank you for joining the session. And please don't forget to subscribe my channel. And in this way, we just go and learn together. Thanks for joining the session, everyone. Thank you.